Yeah, hello, Wagwan. Yeah, I wanted to do a video on Ryan Garcia. Yeah, so Ryan Garcia, I'm sure you know him. He's also known as Cryin Ryan, if you want to slate him. Yeah, because apparently he's a bit of a crybaby. He's always breaking into tears and stuff. He's your modern man, Bumper Clark, basically. And what's his name? His nickname is Kingry. Yeah, which he spells with what as one word. I guess it's King Ryan. It's pretty lame. There's a lot of lame nicknames around these days. But yeah, so Cryin Ryan. Well, I mean, he's like a pretty boy, yeah. He's well known. He's marketed to the Zoomer generation, the kids, the youths, all loads of girls. He's got 10 million Instagram followers, many women, Latino women especially, who want a bit of Cryin Ryan on top of them, and he's a good looking guy, no homo, but there's something weird about him there, right? There's something very odd about him. He's he's always got he seems fragile, right? He's always got his mental health problems going on, he pulled out a fight because of mental health. Now, I mean, that's a very modern thing, man. In the old days, man, if you're getting paid decent money, yeah, you fight and you get over any of your mental issues, And he had this girlfriend, this hot girlfriend. And it might even be the mother of his child. He's got one daughter, and he was openly posting, I effed up, and basically crying because he lost her. Because I think he cheated on her anyway, so that's his own fault, He's a contradicted guy because he's a Christian as well, and he he's quite proud of that. I like that he put up videos of him getting baptized. It's not just videos of him sitting there with his chest out for the women and the Battimans, no doubt, So, but then, he's also had a daughter out of wedlock, which isn't particularly Christian. I don't know what his relationship is with the mother or the daughter. I hope he sees her. The daughter, definitely. And Jay was banned from Twitter. Although now it looks like it's been reinstated, or at least he's opened a new account with a blue tick. Yeah, so apparently he was banned, allegedly for Christian sentiments. He was expressing those very clearly, which is odd. I don't know if that's true. But, the one thing you got to know about Twitter is just a new world order censorship tool. It's not a business, man. It's not about money. They banned huge accounts, including Cryin Ryan's account, which had, 1 million followers. Donald Trump or whatever had like 60 million or 80 million. Yeah. Now, the business model is the ads. Yeah. So the more people they come to the site, the more people view and click on the ads, and the more revenue Twitter get. So the last thing you would want to do is to ban, a president with 80 million followers, 18 million followers, people coming to read his stuff, yeah? And this is a sitting president at the time. Now, I've got no time for any of these guys, Trump, Biden. I mean, some are worse than others, but they're all stooges, yeah? They're all pawns in the game. But it just goes to show you, Twitter is not a business. They lose so much money by repeatedly banning people. If they were a real business, they wouldn't hardly ever ban anyone. They would only ban people for really stepping out of line, like, displaying noncery or something. In fact, weirdly, yeah, there are many accounts open and left open, have been open for ages, that are run by clear nonces, yeah. So that's just incredible to me. But Twitter is basically just an Illuminati tool to tell, to try and force the agenda on people and censor them, tell them what they can and can't say. And push the agenda, I mean, I don't even know people that really use Twitter. So I had a few accounts. I get banned after 5 days, man, just for saying something innocuous, man. What's the point, man? What's the point? Anyway, so Cryin Ryan, back to Cryin Ryan. It's weird because he acts like a kind of sex abuse victim, in the sense that he's a bit fragile, yeah? He cries, yeah? He's what's the word? Not irrational. His behaviour is a bit irregular. It's almost like and everyone knows that Oscar De La Hoya is exceptionally fruity, batty man. yeah, and he was very close in inverted commas to Cryin Ryan. I mean, you have to be very suspicious of Oscar because he's such a pervert. I mean, maybe he invited Ryan into the kitchen and, fed him some, a bit of wine, put in some Rohypnol or some other kind of drugs. And before you know it, there's the kitchen utensils being inserted in batty holes. Yeah, there is male people, yeah, wearing women's underwear. It's all very weird, man. And there have been rumors that he's Oscar's butt boy, or at least he was. So the other thing, there's other weird stories about him, right? So I think he's no longer with I think it's Eddie Reynoso, Canelo's trainer, been dropped by him. Now the rumors are, from Reynoso, Cryin Ryan wasn't turning up to training. He wasn't training properly. I can't work with these people. Obviously Canelo's his main boy, and Canelo is a hard trainer, obsessive. So not everyone can be like Canelo, but still. Cryin Ryan, though, Kingry, is like, oh, no, I always turned up. He was never there. He was always a Canelo. It sounds like he's throwing a little hissy, little fit, man. Reynoso's got other fighters, and his main one is obviously Canelo. There are also rumors, yeah? He admits to breaking down in tears in the boxing club. And that's a bit, look, man, you've been boxing for years, man. You can't be weak. You can't be a weak guy in boxing. You shouldn't be, yeah? But, he admits that he broke down crying in training. Now, what caused him to cry, I don't know. It's too tough for him, maybe, People say, these pretty boys, they can't really be boxers. But, I don't believe that. There's loads of guys that are tough guys that are good looking, But Ryan is, a bit effeminate looking, isn't he? And the rumor is that in his he didn't just break down crying, yeah, in the gym. Just serious, right? There's a rumor that he soiled himself, when he was training, and then he burst into tears, right? Because he was so embarrassed, and he would run out of the gym, having soiled his pants, shit himself basically, yeah, and he would just. Obviously, I'd be embarrassed. I'm pretty embarrassed. I mean, I've never been in that situation, but, I think he was just Canelo and Eddie Reynoso would just rinse him out all the time about having soiled himself and couldn't handle it. His mental health was too fragile. Yeah, so he left, and now he's got this new guy. I think it's Dan Goosen, one of the Goosen family, a long-term boxing family, but. He goes out, this guy Dan Goosen, I think he's about 65, right? And they put pictures on their Instagram and stuff about how they go shopping together, in designer stores, and they're trying on clothes. And Goosen, like, looks like mutton dressed up as a lamb or whatever the male equivalent is. He's wearing all these tight jeans. He's got this plastic surgery face, which is, clearly been lifted. Yeah, and he dyes his hair like this blonde color, which is just impossible for a 65-year-old man to have. He looks a bit cringe and weird himself. I don't know what's going on with Ryan Garcia, man. There's some fruitiness, or at least, or maybe he ain't fruity. Maybe he isn't. He's just been, groomed by fruity men like Oscar and Dan Goosen, and maybe they try and take advantage of him. Maybe. He didn't know what to do, and he gave in a couple of times. I don't know, man. It's very weird. It's very weird. Boxing-wise, title-wise as well. So Cryin Ryan, has got the WBC interim lightweight championship now. Interim titles are they're meant to be like interim titles for when the main champion can't fight for whatever reason, because obviously these world boxing bodies, they want to keep on getting the money, and if a guy's out for a year and a half, they can't have that. I can't remember the politics of that, because I just am so cynical about that stuff. But the actual real WBC champion is Devin Haney. Devin Haney is one of the ugliest guys in boxing, one of the ugliest guys I've seen. He's got this nose. It's from nostril to nostril, it looks about like 5 inches. Yeah, it's huge. He's got this huge nose. He's extremely ugly with a weird hairline. Yeah, And yeah, you know, so I don't know if Haney's going to fight Cryin Ryan. I think they'll probably protect Kingry for a bit, you know. And that fight, they would be like Beauty and the Beast, wouldn't it? But no doubt they wouldn't be allowed to market it in these woke times because, you know, it'd probably be deemed racist and, you know, I don't know, some kind of ugliest, whatever, lookist, you know. But let's not pretend that Ryan Garcia, if Ryan was as ugly as Devin Haney, yeah, he would be an afterthought. Yeah, because he's a pain with he hasn't really scored any majorly good wins. Luke Campbell is, you know, well class, but he's not considered a killer. Put him over quite heavily. You know, Garcia fights with his chin up a bit. If you notice, his chin comes up, which is asking to get chinned. So, yeah, anyway, so Cryin Ryan is fighting some African, Emmanuel Tagoe, I think his name is. I don't know where he's from, Ghana. I don't, you know, they're not gonna risk him. This guy's obviously tough, tough, as Adam Smith says about every African fighter. And he should win that. Probably, I don't know, points or stoppage, we'll see. Probably points, I reckon. He can punch, Garcia. He can punch, but I'm sure Tagoe is tough, and will be a difficult guy to get out of there. But who knows? Oh yeah, the other thing. So I found this video, right? And there's this guy called Rolly Romero, right, who's fighting Gervonta Davis soon, right? Now Rolly, I think he was accused of trying to force a girl to nosh him off in a car. I think it was him, but so the original fight was cancelled. But now she was lying. You know, she was trying to get some of his cash probably, or you know, she got threatened and told to drop the charges. But because this happens, but yeah. So there's this video that you can see here. I'm playing now, of Rolly Romero. You know, giving Ryan a right hiding in sparring, but you know, which is concerning. However, you know, it's sparring. You know, people can have bad days, and I think this is when Ryan Garcia was only 18. You know, he turned pro at 17, and I think he was 18 here, so it's like 18 or 19. I think it's about. So you know, obviously, a lot of things have changed since then for both fighters. But it is interesting watching him take a pounding from Rolly, you know, and it makes me think, how good's Rolly? How good's Rolly? You know, what are his chances against Gervonta Davis? Who, by the way, out of interest, Gervonta Davis's father is an oil driller, you know. He's a white Latino oil driller. Not a lot of people know that, but I do. Because I keep my eye on the oil drilling world in boxing. So, yeah, so I mean, that fight is quite interesting. I'll preview that in a different video. But Cryin Ryan, yeah, will probably come back with a win. And there's something missing there with him, you know. You can't be that mentally weak when you're a pro boxer, you know. You've got to be tough, yeah, and you can't spend all your time, man, on. He'd rather be an Instagram model, I think. You know, I'm not saying he doesn't like boxing, but all those distractions, you know, and that pretty boy stuff, it just, I don't think the top guys will beat him up. That's what I'm saying. All right.